We have many sites in the field of education because we believe that without human resources of quality, we will not be able to develop. We will not be able to make the revolution. The revolution is not only important, what we want, but the revolution too. It is one revolution of mentality so that we can produce. I invite you all one each to think about what we can do, what we can create, and not spend all our time importing. Remember something. I don't think God came down to earth to train the first engineers in this world. They noticed, they found, they made and redone, and they created. Don't think that you must learn to be an engineer. You can develop, and you're smart enough to do it. Do not listen to I would say those who are not convinced. People may tell you, it is not the level of Burkina Faso to do this. We are not at this stage yet. Listen, let's just do the minimum.
Wow, what a message from the president of Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traoré. My dear lovely family, brothers and sisters, do not skip this video. Watch this video from the beginning till the end. While African leaders are in Yokohama, Japan, asking Japanese to come and add value to our natural resources, calling Japanese to come and investing in our natural resources, what Captain Ibrahim Traoré is doing is to encourage young Burkinabè students to be good engineers, to be innovators, to be investors in their own resources, instead of calling other people to come and invest in our resources. Captain Ibrahim Traoré is turning the table upside down and saying, you young Africans, you can be an investor, you can be an engineer, you can transform your nation. We don't need other people. We must stop importing things from other people. So families, friends, fellow Africans, listen what President Loto is saying here about investors, calling investors. Do not skip the video. Watch this video from the beginning till the end. Listen what Loto is saying.
Partners like Japan can help remedy this queue by investing in local manufacturing and industrialization, supporting local agricultural value chains, and financing renewable energy systems to power industry. Africa has abundant resources, land, minerals, renewable energy, and a young tech-savvy workforce. By adding value to what we produce, whether it is coffee, tea, minerals, textiles, or services, we build industries, create local wealth, and therefore empower our citizens. This is how Africa stops being the world's supplier of unprocessed raw materials and extractives and becomes a global hub of high-value production, innovation, and prosperity.
Yes, that is President William Samoei Ruto talking about Japanese investors. Families, friends, do not skip this video. I'm going to share a full speech of Captain Ibrahim Traoré, and also I will share what President Ruto has said in this TICAD summit concerning about investment. So there's something that I don't understand here. President Ruto is saying we need investors that will help to invest in our continent to stop exploitation of raw materials. But what I see, this is a lies, because what we are asking, or Africans we are asking, we want Africans to have a knowledge and skills on how we can add value. We don't need someone to come and build industries and hire Africans. You know, we have been cheated by these things that people are coming with money, people are creating jobs. Who said Africans need jobs from white people? Africans, we need to create our own jobs. We need to create our own industries, not Chinese to come and build industries using our own resources and make Africans cheap laborers. That's what we are not accepting. We want Africans to be part of owners of these resources. We need Africans to own our economy. So let us not speak a lot in this section. Let us now dive deep into the speech of Captain Ibrahim Traoré.
The teacher is important. I hope that the teacher and the student form one body and that you can help the country out. The nation counts on you very much. And as I said, we will implement everything so that our teaching can be one teaching that produces material. We cannot continue to import. Soon we will set up one center in Burkina Faso, which will be like one incubator, because there are people who may not have been lucky to be at school, but who invent, that manage to reproduce, who manage to create. In this center, we will put all possible machines, so that those who have the material to create may find themselves to put a little science in and allow them to settle down. We have one project, starting next year, to be able to set up a particular, which must train many practical engineers. The project will be launched very soon, please to God. We have many sites in the field of education because we believe that without human resources of quality, we will not be able to develop. We will not be able to make the revolution. The revolution is not only important, what we want, but the revolution too. It is one revolution of mentality, so that we can produce. I invite you all one each to think about what we can do, what we can create, and not spend all our time importing. Remember something. I don't think God came down to earth to train the first engineers in this world. They noticed, they found, they made and redone, and they created. Don't think that you must learn to be an engineer. You can develop, and you're smart enough to do it. Do not listen to I would say those who are not convinced. People may tell you, it is not the level of Burkina Faso to do this. We are not at this stage yet. Listen, let's just do the minimum. Not to think very far. There are individuals who will discourage you like none. The school was created by whom? It is those who have evolved, who have created things, who decided to teach this to others, and little by little the room was created. Do you want to tell me that we are incapable create something you are unable to create? So, now, in addition to the school, we should think about what we can do. And as I told you, the center will be implemented, and all of you who are there are likely to pass there. Show what you can do, and we will accompany you to settle down, because everything we import, we can't keep doing it. I was telling the minister that very soon I will ban bicycles from entering Burkina Faso. If we can't make bikes, we must take our weapons and horses back to the market. You agree with me that it is inconceivable that the basic things we import, the simple buttons of your shirts, I don't think they are made here. You find it normal. Yet we have grey matter. We have substance. We also spend the time stealing our As I said, the patriotic commitment requires you to serve your nation and those who are outside. I also call them to think about coming back to serve the nation. We will do everything to ensure that you can express your talent here on site. So think about what I say. We are able to revolutionize everything, but it goes through the head. And if I have one piece of advice to give you, it concerns the internet, social networks. Much today might have been in this room, but have been diverted. Our internet, remember something, is strong. They know how to handle you. They know how to see you indirectly. Watch your TV channels. We pass the time. Music, comedy shows and all that follows. How many scientific programs are on TV? Check your social networks. You will be lost if you spend all your time to watch these contents where the girls get almost naked and start dancing to music, and you spend your time following this. Your neurons are clogging, you can't evolve. This is the reality. Fun is one thing. Knowledge is one other thing. We don't say not to get distracted. You can distract yourself. But the advice I have to give, we don't say it loud and clear. But deep down, everyone knows that it is one evil that eats away at us. And I want to tell you today, it may not please people. And generally, our young girls, forgive me, you are already all beautiful. You are the most beautiful. You don't need to expose yourself on social networks. Stop it. We need to concentrate on the essential. There are people who spend their time raising awareness for people to wake up, to make the world understand. These people are not very followed. There are people who spend to show everything that is scientific on social networks. These people are not very followed. Look at some craftsmen, I don't know, in Pakistan or whatever, show through social networks how to make synthetic objects. But we're not interested in that. That's what creates the content with girls who are naked on social networks. That's what we're interested in when we're young. You have to be careful. If you're interested in these things, your neurons are clogged. You won't be able to think. And it's dangerous for you. We don't need that. There are times to distract yourself. But most of your time, you will have to concentrate, to study and create. You promise me that you will create. Diakad, you answered faster than my sentence is over. Thank you, then, and I think we understand each other. There are things that perhaps people will say that these are topics not to be addressed. But I told you, I am not a head of state like the others. If someone thinks it's one subject, there is no taboo subject with me. As long as it will negatively impact my youth, I will discuss with you and tell you what I think. Concentrate, continue your studies. Don't be distracted. It is very important. The more you stay focused, the more you learn, the better our nation will be. If you understand the world, the war will end. If you understand science, we will develop very quickly. And you are all geniuses. You are able to create, and I count on you. Dear teachers, I want you to continue to convey this message. My dear parents, I call on you too. Make sure that television, social networks, that you can decrease the intensity with the children. They need oxygen. Their brains need to develop. When they're addicted to these objects, they can no longer think. Everything is oriented towards loss. It is very dangerous. Make an effort. The nation needs its children. Africa needs to leave this situation. And they made everything to put Africa to sleep. The programs you watch on your social networks are not the same programs that they themselves have created, that their children follow. Understand this. Take your application where you follow what I say that is not right. The countries that created it in their children do not follow what you follow. Why they do this? It's to lock you up, that your brains never develop again, and that you are there to be consumers. And who says consumer? These are your raw materials that you will have to sell off to be able to have the luxury they sell you. In short, I wanted to give you some advice as well, in addition to congratulating you on encouragement, because the nation needs you. We must build our country. We must liberate our country. We must live again in peace. We must be developed, and we can do it. That in this union, that in this harmony, and in the search for knowledge, I count on you to make Burkina in the department. high and everywhere in this world, that you carry the flag of Burkina Faso high, and that our country can be an example, that all of Africa can unite one day, and that we can overcome all theses that destroy Africa. Thank you very much. I wish you very good luck. May God accompany you in your school curriculum, next university, and in the professions that some will have chosen. That God continues to protect and accompany our valiant teachers who fight day and night on all grounds to give knowledge to children. I take my hat off to you. You are fighters of this country. Continue your noble work and continue to frame. Thank you all very much. And I wish you one very nice day. So take advantage of your time to enjoy one few of Ouagadougou tourist sites, which can therefore be also useful and country or death. Thank you very much.
Yes, that is an inspirational and powerful speech from the president of Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, to African youth in Burkina Faso. As you heard, Captain Ibrahim Traoré is insisting that we need to stop imports of goods that we can manufacture here. That is the main thing that Captain Ibrahim Traoré he said. Let us now go to what President Ruto has said. I would like also to share a part of the speech made by the President of Kenya, President William Ruto. Listen also from President Ruto.
Over the years, TICAD has remained faithful to its founding principles of African ownership, inclusivity, openness, and genuine partnership. We commend the government of Japan and the co-organizers for sustaining this unique framework. Kenya deeply values Japan's consistent support in critical sectors: education, health, agriculture, energy, infrastructure, and security. These partnerships have been central to Africa's socio-economic progress. Excellencies, even amid relentless and overlapping global crises, Africa's economies are among the fastest growing in the world. In 2025, Sub-Saharan Africa's GDP is projected to grow at 4% compared to a global average of 3%. Yet, these impressive numbers have not sufficiently translated into meaningful poverty reduction, substantive employment creation, or enhanced fiscal space for domestic resource mobilization. This is why the theme of TICAD 9, to co-create innovative solutions with Africa, is both timely and fitting. It reminds us that growth must be translated into real impact on people's lives, moving from macroeconomic numbers to grassroots transformation. Excellencies, resilient, adaptive, and inclusive societies form the foundation of Africa's transformation. The societal pillar challenges us to invest deliberately in people, including their health, education, and their well-being. Only then can Africa unlock its vast potential through holistic human capital development. Africa is richly endowed with natural resources and a youthful population of nearly 400 million, bursting with energy, creativity, and innovation. Yet, systemic social challenges persist. To close this gap, we must champion programs aligned with global, regional, and national priorities, but tailored to build inclusive and resilient societies that leave nobody behind. In Kenya, for example, we are implementing the bottom-up economic transformation agenda anchored on building a fair and inclusive society where every citizen has a stake in our nation's progress. By expanding opportunities, enhancing access to services, and empowering communities at the grassroots, we are bridging divides and ensuring prosperity is shared equitably. Ladies and gentlemen, shared prosperity is the tide that lifts all of society. Africa's urgent challenge is to accelerate the pace of inclusive wealth creation, to eliminate poverty, create jobs, and restore dignity. This requires correcting the entrenched imbalance in global trade, where Africa exports raw materials and imports finished goods at a premium, a structure that locks our people out of opportunity and stifles our industrialization aspirations. Partners like Japan can help remedy this skew by investing in local manufacturing and industrialization, supporting local agricultural value chains, and financing renewable energy systems to power industry. Africa has abundant resources, land, minerals, renewable energy, and a young tech-savvy workforce. By adding value to what we produce, whether it is coffee, tea, minerals, textiles, or services, we build industries, create local wealth, and therefore empower our citizens. This is how Africa stops being the world's supplier of unprocessed raw materials and extractives and becomes a global hub of high-value production, innovation, and prosperity. Excellencies, the COVID-19 pandemic exposed the fragility of economies without robust health systems. That is why, over the past year, Kenya has embarked on reforms directed towards attaining universal health coverage by strengthening primary health care, prioritizing prevention, upgrading infrastructure, training personnel, and securing vaccines, diagnostics, and medicines, all funded through locally mobilized resources. In less than a year, over 25 million Kenyans have registered with the Social Health Authority, up from about 8 million under the former scheme. Millions of families can now seek quality medical care without impediment, either due to lack of access or prohibitive costs. Yet these robust health systems demand significant resources to actualize. We welcome Japan's support through contributions to the Global Fund, training facilities, and the Africa Vaccine Manufacturing.
Yes, that is the president of Kenya, President William Samoei Ruto, addressing Japanese investors at TICAD 9 in Yokohama, Japan. You heard both leaders, starting with Captain Ibrahim Traoré and also President William Ruto. You can see the difference between political leaders and revolutionary leaders. So, do you want to tell me that Africa cannot survive without investors? Do you want to tell me that Africa cannot manufacture spoons? So we need investors to come and manufacture spoons for us. Do you want to tell me that if other nations can stop supplying cars, we will go to office without this car, will work like normal citizens? Is it true? Do you want to tell me that with all these resources and all these minds of Africans, we cannot manufacture our own mobiles? So we need investors. Is it true? We have seen during COVID, some big nations rejected to supply vaccine to Africans. Have you seen Africans die? What Africans did, they find solutions. So political figures still believing, I don't know who taught them, believing that for Africa to prosper, to develop, we need other people to come, build industries, take Africans, hiring them, giving them salaries. That's what Africa we want. No. What Traoré is doing is what we want. We want leaders who can prepare next generation to take over with intelligence, with knowledge, with innovation. If you have listened what President Luto has said and also what President Traoré has said, you can see the difference. You can see the difference. Traoré is preparing youth, African youth, to be good engineers, to be innovators, to be investors. But President Luto is inviting other people to come and invest by saying these people are coming to create jobs. When will Africans create jobs for Japanese? When will Africans create jobs for Europeans? We want also Africans to hire cheap laborers from Japan, from China, from America, from Europe, the way they are doing to us. And I'm not accepting this notion of saying that by investing, calling investors, we are going to create jobs. Is it true that Africans need jobs from others? You know, right now people are saying we have no shortage of job. You know why? Because we are waiting other people to come and build industries, whether industries or any kind of investment to hire Africans. That's why we are waiting. Right now people are completing university studies, college studies, and sitting down and waiting European companies, Western companies, Eastern companies to hire them. Instead of building capacities to these African people, youth, to see opportunities. For how long Africans will become cheap laborers? For how long Africa will depend on others? So we are changing the trip. Instead of giving resources and processing them in their home countries, what we are doing right now is to call them. So we are bringing them here and give them resources, process here. That's what we are doing. So instead of taking resources, now we are taking those people to come in Africa, doing everything here, then selling to us. That's no difference. There's no difference. If we think there's a difference, tell me, which country has succeeded by these things that is happening right now? There are some countries that have called investors for many years. What's the status of their lives, of the lives of their citizens? The only solution for Africans to prosper, to develop, is to allow Africans to own these means of production. If we can allow Africans to feed themselves. So even agriculture, we need Japanese. How is it possible? Africa, we started agriculture since then. Even feeding, we need other people. We need to collaborate with other people in agriculture. As if Africa, we don't know agriculture. If it's about technology, I can say, at least in technology, maybe they have some technology that we don't have. But agriculture. So the problem that we have, Africa, we want to conduct agriculture like other people. That's why one day I said, we want to do something or to do agriculture like Russians. In Russia, it is too cold, so they have to find and to put fertilizers and other things to make crops to grow very fast, because Russia is at different weather with Africa. So why we want to copy and paste? So families, friends, fellow Africans, it doesn't make sense to believe that Africans, we need others to prosper. Africans, we have the big market of 1.4 billion people. We have resources. We have intelligent people. The problem that we have, it is leadership. Our leaders don't trust in Africans. And why not Africans having a conversation? This kind of conversation that we see in Japan, in Beijing, in Brussels, in London, in Paris, why we don't see African leaders gathered in Ouagadougou, gathered in Nairobi, gathered in Addis, gathered in Kampala, talking about industrialization? When you heard African leaders discussing about industrialization, discussing about agriculture, that from now and then we are not going to import agricultural product from others. We are going to stop being fed by others. When? And this summit that you see, If there are such kind of summit, who is sponsoring those summits? So we need summits that is sponsored by Africans. It is paining, but there's no way. This is the Africa that we have right now. Captain Ibrahim Traoré is citing and focusing on uplifting and making Africans engineers, innovators, and investors, while political leader like President Ruto still believing that for Africa to prosper, we need external and foreign investors to come and invest in Africa. And he said very well that, President Ruto said very well that if Japanese investors will come and invest in African resources, this will stop the export of raw minerals. You know, we are confusing. What Africans we are demanding is not about export of raw minerals. What we are demanding is we want Africans to own these resources and to stop African resources to be exported into raw forms is to enable and allow Africans to be investors in these resources. There's no way we can stop foreign investors from taking away our natural resources. There's no way, because they are not led, no any kind of investor who will see his or her cousin suffering and yet they want to make Africans happy. No such kind of investors. There's no any kind of investor, whether from America or from Europe or from Asia, that will see their children, their cousin, their relatives suffering with no job and employment opportunities, and yet they want to make the child of Africa having jobs. No such kind of investors. No such kind of that investors. What we need to do as Africans is to do what Captain Ibrahim Traoré is doing, to encourage and to inspire Africans to own these resources and to start value addition. I saw President Ruto signing contract with Japanese to bring cars in Kenya. When will Africans leaders supporting fellow African leaders or African people? Because today we are going to take Japanese car. It's a business. It's okay. It's good. And they are proud about that. But what about a neighboring country? Uganda. Uganda right now is manufacturing electric cars. Why Kenya not supporting Uganda to buy electric cars and to make Uganda industry or motor industry to grow? Why not Ghana buying from Burkina Faso? We have seen Burkina Faso manufactured and continue to manufacture electric cars. Why African leaders are not supporting fellow Africans? And yet they are looking in the east or west. And yet we are saying we can stop export of raw materials by inviting foreign investment. What we need is Africans to be part of investment. We are not happy with seeing that other people are coming, building industries, hiring Africans at low prices and making money, becoming rich, those people who have industries, and then after a certain time, they go back home when they're becoming rich. We need also Africans to invest in our natural resources. There's no way we can stop export of our raw materials as long as we are divided. If we are serious, we want to stop raw materials from being exported into raw forms, we need to unite, to speak with one voice. Yes, today Kenya is saying like that. What about Democratic Republic of Congo? Democratic Republic of Congo has the same idea with Kenya. Yes, today you see Kenya is buying and signing contract to buy Japanese cars, while a neighboring country, Uganda, is also manufacturing cars, Why not buying from Uganda? Will Uganda accept what Kenya is doing? You can see the sabotage within ourselves. We can see if we want to achieve as Africans, we need to have a common vision. The problem that we have, we don't have a common vision. We don't have a common vision because we are divided. And I said this many times. Africans, when colonizers drawn border, they put one thing that also dividing Africa, that all of us maybe we are not familiar. And this thing we need to take a space one day to discuss, maybe 1 hour, the issue of elections. Right now, there are some leaders who are thinking about elections. You cannot tell them about unity. They are busy. They know next year or this year they are in election. So all of them, all those who are in election, they are busy thinking about election, whether they will come back or they will be chased away. So they are busy focusing on elections. And we have election that is differ. You find maybe we are almost 54 countries. You find 5 countries have election this year, maybe another countries, 10 countries next year, after next year, maybe 15 countries. That's how we are divided. We cannot speak with one voice, while all of us, we are thinking about elections. And that's why these leaders in Sahel, they have succeeded one thing. All of them, they suspended political activities. Despite people are saying these are dictators, these are military, they call all kind of names, but they have decided to do so because they are so visionary. If you have election in Niger this year, and then next year you have election in Burkina Faso, and then after next year you have election in Mali. So this year it means Niger will be busy looking for elections. And next year Burkina Faso will be busy thinking about elections. Then after Mali. So there's no a time when countries will be at a level where people will start thinking about development. And these elections, we know who is behind these elections. We know those who have so powerful, they're behind these elections. They send the observers, they do everything to come and observe what we are doing, how we are electing, as if we are not human beings, we don't know how to elect. What are they observing? That's what is happening. So the issue of elections, if you put aside borders and other issues, also elections are dividing Africans. That's why Africans cannot speak with one voice. You know, one day I was hearing the president of Zambia, His Excellency President Hakainde Hichilema. He said one thing that is important, that when leaders meet in Addis, they use 70% of the time discussing politics, not development. They see how they can support each other. You know, they have maybe oppositions, so this opposition, they want this. They give tactic on how they can maneuver and do something in elections instead of focusing on development. You cannot speak with someone who's seen that his term is over. Maybe there are some countries where they have 2 terms or other 5 terms. It depends. Someone, you know that next year I will not be in the African Union. My terms is over. You cannot discuss with such kind of people about integration. He's thinking about where I will go. I have done evil things in my country. These people, if we come in power, they can jail me. So he's stressed by what he has done or she has done. That's what is happening in the continent of Africa. So election is also a tool being used to divide Africans. We cannot speak with one voice. You see right now, Captain Ibrahim Traoré is in Burkina Faso, speaking with young people. Other leaders are in Yokohama, speaking with Japanese. We want Japanese to hear what we think. We are inviting them to come and invest in our natural resources. As if we Africans, we can't. So Africans, it looks like we have surrendered our natural resources, that we Africans, we need other people for us to prosper. We have surrendered. It looks like that. Let us assume there's no Japanese, there's no Indians, there's no Europeans. Can we survive? Or we can die? Those are things that we need to ask ourselves. If Japanese succeeded, why not Ghana? Why not Burkina Faso? If America succeeded, why not Nigeria? How America succeeded? Which technique and ways America did to succeed? Can we use those things? So if we still believing in investors, we are going nowhere. Let us believe in ourselves. Let us see that Africans, we can do. We can become investors. And that's what Captain Traoré has done. He said very well that we don't need to import things that we can produce. Do you want to tell me that Africans, the entire continent, we cannot produce motorbike? Is it true? With all these resources, with these people, we cannot produce cars, we cannot produce spoons, we cannot produce toast stick. Do you want to tell me, is it true that if Japanese can stop supplying cars, we can move with legs, leaders can start jogging? No, Africans are not empty-headed. It's our leaders who thought like that Africans, we are empty-headed. We need others in order for us to prosper or to move forward. So I'm very happy. I saw Captain Ibrahim Traoré doing very well, and we need to protect this young leader. You see, there's those who said, of course, there's UN report that said Captain Ibrahim Traoré is mistreating children. I saw and I understand that these people, they don't want Captain Ibrahim Traoré to induce the spirit of Pan-Africanism to these young people. What Captain Ibrahim Traoré is doing right now is not these people don't want to see. They don't want to hear. They want Europeans to be addressed by African leaders. They don't want African people to know what is going on. And that's why yesterday, if it is not yesterday, the day before yesterday, I said, we have good plans. We have good articles, but these articles remains in the hands of politicians. I asked how many Africans, young people, youth, know about Agenda 2063. Do we have syllabus that is teaching our people, our children, about Agenda 2063? We have continental free trade areas. Are we teaching our people about continental free trade areas, or we are busy addressing the Japanese, the Europeans, Americans, and telling every secret that we have continental free trade areas, come and invest? Are we preparing our children that with continental free trade area, we can invest, we can do this? Are we doing like that? So families, friends, fellow Africans, let us not speak for too long. Thank you for those who have liked the video. Thank you to those who also commented. Thank you to everyone, even those who watched without doing anything. Thank you. You have contributed much, much, much. We are here to share our thoughts, ideas, not to challenge our leaders. We are here to share our thoughts from what we see and what we can contribute as a human being, as the people of this continent, so that we can build the Africa that all of us we want. Families, friends, fellow Africans, let me say thank you a lot. Thank you again and again. Don't tired to this revolution. We are in the movement. We are in revolution. We must make sure that we achieve, we succeed to reach to a point where we want to reach the point of one united Africa, the Africa that will speak with one voice. After that, let me say stay in power. Have a nice time. See you next time. Thank you.
Thank you, Africa.